Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is day 2 of our 31 days of Halloween series here on my channel. You can see I have a massive stack of books beside me because this is my autumn TBR video. So I'm not going to be showing you these books in any specific order. These are just all the books that I wanted to read in the month of October/autumn time. I do believe there's 13 books in this stack. I'm not planning on reading every single one of them, but I do have a bunch of different reading videos coming up and I'm very much a mood reader, so I give myself a lot of options. The first book is The Ravenswood Witch by Jenny Kerr. I don't really know much about this. So from what I can read on the back, this lady is on the run. She runs into a man called Marcus Greyborn. He tells everyone that she is his reclusive wife and she moves in with him to keep this ploy up. She has no idea why he's helping her, but she's just happy to be helped. And she realizes very quickly that this house and the mystery of where his wife is and who his wife is a lot to come to terms with, because she feels very dark presences in this house. It's filled with magic. The wife is missing, no one knows where she is, no one knows what happened to her, no one even knew she was missing. That's why it was so easy for him to say that this random girl is his wife. To my understanding, it's basically following her, trying to understand and unravel all the secrets and mysteries surrounding this man and this house and his wife and all the dark presences that she can feel there and the secrets, and to see if she's just better off staying on the run or staying with this man. Next is Jaws by Peter Benchley. I have actually started this book and I was really enjoying it. It is quite different to the movie, but again, I haven't watched the movie in years. I wanted to read the book before I watched the movie again. I don't know if I was the only one. I did not know Jaws was a book before it was a movie, so it's gonna be really cool to see how this differs from the film. It's just the standard story of Jaws from what I can understand. Shark attacks, people dying, people killing the shark. Very fun. I'm very excited to read this. Again, it's quite short. It's less than 300 pages. The writing is quite small, as you can see, but I don't mind it. In a similar vibe, my next book is actually Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. Again, I have started this one. It is very short, just over 200 pages on this one. Words are similarly sized to that of Jaws. It's the story of Frankenstein. I feel like everyone knows it, but I've never actually read about it. It just feels really fitting for this month as well. I definitely think that I want to read this in Halloween month because it's literally Frankenstein's monster. You know what I mean? The next book is We Solve Murders by Richard Osman. I actually just recently found out that he's the guy from Pointless, I believe, which is insane. Basically on the back, I don't know anything about this book. I haven't wanted to look too deep into many of these books, but from reading the back, it just says, a new detective duo, a shocking series of murders, welcome to a world of trouble. So it sounds pretty cool. This book is 450 odd pages, so it is a bit thicker. I do also tend to read hardback books a lot slower than I would read paperbacks, but I am really excited for this. I do quite like Richard Osman and it just seems like a really interesting premise and it's right up my street, so definitely excited to read this one. Next is Panic by Lauren Oliver. I'm so excited to read this. I actually watched the show Panic and did not realize it was a book. I'm obsessed with the show. I think it was a crime we only got one season, but unfortunately it got cancelled because everything good gets cancelled. Panic, Julie and the Phantoms, that new one about the cars and the kids. It's like drag racing and the kids are in a town. I can't remember the name of it, but all the good shows get cancelled. Assuming the book follows quite closely to the show, but I also don't know because again, this came first and I've never read it. So I just know that I absolutely adored the show and I go back to it every year to watch it. So hopefully the book holds up just as well against the show, which usually it does. Next is The Case of Charles Dexter Ward by H.P. Lovecraft. This is a super short story. It's just over 100 pages and the words are huge. The words are massive in this, but I don't actually know what this is about. I found it in down in Portrush or Portstewart. They have this cute little secondhand bookstore and it was like £2 or £1.50 or something, and I just seen it. I was like, that's really cool. On the back it says, "The case of Charles Dexter Ward immerses readers in a realm of forbidden knowledge and unspeakable terror. Perfect for fans of Lovecraftian horror and supernatural thrillers, this haunting tale invites readers to confront the darkest depths of human obsession and the unknowledgeable forces that lie beyond the veil of reality." It sounds really interesting, and again, it's very short, so if I don't end up loving it, it's not that big of a deal. I could probably get that done in an hour. I'm a slow reader, I read about a page a minute, so an hour may seem long for some people, but hopefully like an hour and a half, and that wee one will be done. Bride by Ali Hazelwood. Ali Hazelwood is actually one of my favourite authors. I love her books. I recently read Loathe to Love You, and I was obsessed with it. I wish these were long stories. I wish these were full-length books all in their own right. I got through it in one night, and I rarely read that quickly, but I could not put it down. It was truly amazing. I thought the stories felt very full and rounded off, considering they were all only 100 pages each, and I think that's a very hard thing to do, so loved this book. So I assume I'm gonna love this book. I believe it's a vampire and a werewolf. Yeah, she's a vampire, he's a werewolf. Also, can we talk about how cute the cover is? Adorable. It is Misery and Lo, I believe are their names. Lo is a were or a werewolf, and Misery is a vampire. She is the daughter of the most powerful vampire. He is the alpha of his pack, and it's basically an arranged marriage between the two, I guess, creatures, I guess. And basically it says that Misery has her own reasons outside of politics and family for agreeing to this arranged marriage. It says that she is willing to do whatever it takes to get back what is hers, even being alone in were territory, being alone with the wolf. So it seems really interesting. You know, I love all things supernatural, especially supernatural creatures, and I think this is going to be a really interesting book. It's unlike a lot of her others. Again, they are mythical creatures, so I think it's really cool to see how that works. I actually do love a bit of arranged marriage of convenience type of plot point. Personally, I really enjoy it, so I'm really interested and intrigued to see how this happens. Someone said it's Hazelwood unleashes her sparkling voice and wit on a paranormal Romeo and Juliet, which I think is a cool way to put it. Romeo and Juliet, obviously two conflicting sides. Same with werewolf and vampire, two completely different creatures. I have nothing else to say about it except I am really, really excited. I'm really excited. So definitely going to be reading this one soon. Next book is actually kind of a similar vein. I believe it is another supernatural romance. I believe he is a vampire and she is a vampire hunter. It is A Cruel Thirst by Angela Montoya. I love the cover. I love that it's kind of shiny. Carolina comes from a family of vampire hunters, so she vows to take down one of the monsters. Him is Lalo, L-A-L-O. He was the leader of the vampire. Lalo was content with his very dull life until he was turned into a vampire. It meant that he had to flee his city and the life that he knew, making him very eager for revenge. So he heads to where the first vampire was made, looking for answers and revenge. But instead he runs into Carolina, and they end up realizing that they have a common goal and a common interest of revenge against the vampires. So they kind of team up, and I believe they fall for each other is my hope. I guess it's kind of like situation of convenience, kind of enemies to lovers esque. But yeah, very excited about this one. I've had this on my shelves for a while. I found it in the works a couple of years ago and I just have never got around to reading it, so I think this will be really fun. I'm just gonna do the next two together because they're the same series. I believe these are both in the Dream Harbor series. I think these are books 1 and 2 in the Dream Harbor series. First is The Pumpkin Spice Cafe. Jeannie gets gifted this cafe by her aunt. In the small town of Dream Harbor, she jumps at the chance for a fresh start away from her dull desk job, and then she meets Logan, who's a local farmer. He avoids all of the gossip. When she interrupts his routine, he wants nothing to do with her, but he finds himself drawn towards her. I believe this is a grumpy ex-sunshine romance. I don't mind them as long as the guy isn't rude. Basically, I don't really like it when the man is rude in a way that can't be construed as funny or flirting or just like slightly grumpy. Similarly, I have the second book in the series, which is the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore by Laurie Gilmore. This is book 2 in the Dream Harbour series. Hazel owns the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, and one day a secret message turns up within the bookshelves and she doesn't understand it. It's a series of clues. So she asks, I believe, yes, so he is a fisherman, Noah, and she randomly asks him to help her on this scavenger hunt around the town. He says yes, he has always had a little crush on her. He thought this could be a fun thing for them to do, a good way to spend time together while following the clues to this little scavenger hunt. They end up falling for each other. I think this will hit the autumn vibes that I'm hoping for, the fluffy romance on top of some of the darker, more mystery thrillery books that I have on my TBR. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this one. I definitely think I'm probably gonna read this one over the first one. I prefer this type of like he fell first, she fell harder cutesy romance to like a Grumpy X Sunshine, but again, I don't know this author's writing, so for all I know she does it very well. I'm so excited about this next one. Next one is Survive the Night by Riley Sager. Basically, this girl's friend gets murdered. She blames herself, so she decides to drop out of uni and not tell anyone. So she signs up to her uni's car share service. She finds a guy there who is willing to give her a lift to her house or her town on the way to where he's going. When this book starts, she's very depressed. She doesn't really trust herself. She doesn't trust the world. Her best friend just got murdered. She's living her life without her now. And she is just very down and not thinking rationally or clearly. And once she's in the car, she realizes she's overlooked a lot of red flags, considering her friend was murdered by some random man on campus, and she's just gotten into the car with someone who she does not know, and she just doesn't fully trust him. Though she overlooks all of these things because she believes she's just being paranoid and just wants to get home because of how depressed she is feeling. She doesn't really trust herself to read the situation correctly. But I don't know how this book is going to go, and that's why I think it intrigues me so much, because I don't understand how they're going to make it so interesting and intriguing and mystery and all of this when we were told that he's the killer, but it also could be in her head because it's a single POV. So I don't know, we'll see. I like it. I'm enjoying it so far. Guys, apologies if this looks a little bit strange. I had to change my camera mode on my phone because it wouldn't let me watch it on my laptop, which I need to do to be able to see if my books are in focus. And so I apologise about the switch up of the quality. As I was saying, the next one is The Guest List by Lucy Foley. It is 13 guests all on one island. There's no way off of it. Everyone has their own secrets and their own motives for being at this wedding. It goes through all 13 points of view and it's very interesting. It can be a little hard to keep track of who's who, but honestly, it's not too bad. We don't know who's been murdered and we don't know who committed the crime. The very first chapter ended with the guests hearing a terrified scream. So the best way for me to describe this is actually just to read the back to you, because I don't think I'm doing this book justice. So the back says, each has a secret, each has a motive. Off the windswept Irish coast, guests gather for the wedding of the year. Old friends, past grudges, happy families, hidden jealousies. 13 guests, one body. One guest won't leave this wedding alive. From my understanding, it goes from 1 or 2 days prior to the wedding all the way through to the wedding day and hopefully after the wedding. It's pretty good. I'm only a couple of chapters in, a couple of point of views in, and I am really enjoying it. Next book is actually a random pickup that I had. I'd never heard of it, but I seen it in the shop and I was like, that looks pretty cool. And it was only £2, so I was like, might as well. The Judas Pair by Jonathan Gash. This man is an antiques dealer or collector or sourcer. He sources antiques for other people. Someone comes to him asking if he can find a pair of pistols called the Judas Pair. And this man is like, I don't think they exist, but sure. The buyer says, well, they do exist because these guns murdered my brother. So he accepts the offer and starts looking for the guns, which he quickly realizes that the owner of these guns is a murderer, so he has to be very careful. He finds that there's one piece of the Judas Pair missing and he can get his hands on it, and he realizes if he knows the pair isn't complete, most likely so does the murderer. I don't know, it just seems like a pretty cool, like, mystery, almost thriller. Again, it's very short. It's a little over 200 pages. Yeah, I don't know much about it. I don't know anything about the author, but I thought it was really cool, and I also just love I also just love the cover. I think it's gorgeous. But yeah. The next one is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. So I've heard of this book, and I know that a TV show just came out about it with Emma Myers, I believe, from Wednesday. The girl who plays Eve. I believe it's YA. It seems really interesting. Quite a dark topic for a YA book, but again, I love a mystery. This is a book that would have been right up my street if I'd have read it when I was younger. I was worried about this being a bit of a not boring book for me to read, but I'm not too into YA that much. But recently actually a lot of YA books have been surprising me, like Powerless by Lauren Roberts is a YA romance, fantasy romance, and I ate it up. I'm in love with it. It's one of my favorite books. I'm giving this its chance and hopefully I really enjoy it. The last book is Murder at the Black Cat Cafe, and I think this is like a mystery book. Basically, at the Black Cat Cafe, a man is found burying a body of a woman whose face is disfigured, I believe. So yes, this man is found burying the body of a woman. Her face is disfigured beyond recognition, and as well as the woman, there is a corpse of a black cat. However, it is not the black cat, which is synonymous with the name of the cafe, and the cafe's almost mascot, I guess. Basically, the story attempts to answer the questions to know who murdered the woman, how is she connected to the famous establishment, where did the black cat come from, who is this man, why was she murdered? As he gets closer to the truth, he finds himself in grave danger. So I believe it's going to be a bit of a mystery, bit of a thriller, bit of a whodunit, why did they do it? A bit of the 5 W's, who, what, when, where, why. Let's count. Okay, so we ended up with a total of 15 books on my TBR for the month of October / the autumn time. I'm personally very excited for all of the books on this TBR. I don't personally have any favourites over other ones. I do think that this is a nice rounded out TBR based off my favourite types of books to read. I didn't venture very far away from my standard reads because again, I want to enjoy all the books that I picked out. So this is my little large stack of books. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe and click the little notifications bell down below so you don't miss a day of my 31 days of Halloween. Definitely check out my videos prior to this and definitely check out my next couple of videos coming up. If this type of content isn't your cup of tea, don't worry. I do videos based off lifestyle, beauty, books, TV, movies. I do kind of a bit of everything, so definitely subscribe if you think you would be interested in any of that, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye guys.